Hello everybody. I'm sure that's probably a little loud right there. Welcome everybody to Solo Rolling. Glad to be back. This bi-weekly, instead of weekly, is taking me some time to get used to, but I'm happy to be back. Super excited to continue down the story for Fight for the Dawn Saber. If you missed part 1, don't worry, I'll do, part 1 and part 2. I will do a quick recap here in a second. First, housekeeping things. Chatbot seemed to have pooped out on me tonight, so I'm not sure why that did that, but so there will be no chatbot in the chat tonight, so I will try to fill... I'll try to plug some things now and in the break and at the end of things. But since it's broken, a couple things to plug before we get started. I just heard a Discord notification. I have no idea where that came from. It really scared me. Anyway, biggest thing to plug is less than 1 month away. Oh boy, I've got a lot of work to do. Is our 24-hour Extra Life charity stream. That is going to be April 9th through the 10th. It is going to be, don't have the exact start time yet, but it's probably going to be 7 o'clock p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. or maybe 8 o'clock p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m., maybe even 6 to 6. We'll see when we start getting our events lined up for that, what makes the most sense. So stay tuned for that. We're raising money for Cincinnati Children's Hospital. Again this year. Last year we had a goal for like $500 and we crushed it. Well, you all crushed it with donations, and we ended up with almost $3,200. Thank you, Randall, for subscribing or resubscribing. So yeah, we blew away our goal. So we are actually starting really big this year, which is, it's kind of intimidating us going into it with a $3,000 goal. You can donate right now, and every person who donates even $1 from now to the event or during the event will be entered into all the giveaways throughout the event. Last year we had so many giveaway prizes that by the end of it, when we only had like 3 hours left of the event, we needed to we were doing giveaways like every 15 minutes because we had so many prizes from some really cool sponsors and donors. And this year I'm expecting it's probably going to be a lot of the same. So far we have gotten 3 different sourcebook collections from D&D Beyond that D&D Beyond was nice enough to donate. We have got a $100 gift card from Dwarven Forge, which is super cool. We've got some dice trays from Zoltar's Bazaar. I believe Zoltar is giving away 4 dice trays. And then Dustin, aka Ironclaw, aka Merlin, is going to be giving away some dice vaults also. So we've already got a lot of really cool giveaway stuff, and we are going to be adding more. So yeah, you can donate now. Like I said, even $1 will get you entered into all of those giveaways, and it's bit.ly/goose2021. So I just posted the link to that in chat, and help us hit that goal and help a bunch of sick kids at Cincinnati Children's Hospital, where most of the One Shot Onslaught and the Halfway to Heroes group is from. I promise I won't plug everything right now because obviously we got a lot of stuff on the network. The next biggest thing to plug is Doom Clock is going to be coming super soon. We have gotten an early character development pack, the character creation section of Shiver, the new tabletop RPG that's going to be launching in any week now. So we've got a prologue excuse me, we got a prologue in our Discord. Going to be posting the prologue everywhere else very soon, so go check that out. It's an amazing prologue from Tiana recorded it, and that is going to be a time-traveling horror/comedy Twitch stream, monthly Twitch stream and bi-weekly podcast. I'm the DM of that, and very soon, within the next 2 to 3 weeks, we should be doing a Session 0 style stream like we did for Diesel, where the cast will be creating their characters, and we will talk about the system, and we will talk about the setting. So those are the two big things I want to talk about. And now to get into the recap of the last stream on Fight for the Dawn Saber. So my character is a Minotaur barbarian named Harry Three Fingers. Used to be a part of a gang, but they're like kind of nice guy gangs, as like nice as you can get. They don't like murder people on purpose. But then I left for a while, came back, had to help them with a mission. There's kind of a rival gang called the Crimson Puritans, and one of our members, her name is Too Small, asked me to help to find evidence of somebody's innocence. It turns out that this somebody is a Crimson Puritan that she is with, and so she asked me to keep it on the down low, not tell the rest of the gang members so they don't get upset that she's with a Crimson Puritan. And I just realized that this webcam is going to the wrong webcam, but that's okay. And so we started to hunt down some clues and to try to find proof of his innocence. His name is T-Jack, and I honestly did pretty bad last session. So I didn't get a ton of clues, unfortunately, and there was some big, like, hawk-sized automatron that chased me down, that really was putting a whooping on me. I almost died. Luckily, I got away. And then we just kind of went back home to the guild house, and we're enjoying a really tasty dinner. So it was a really good stopping point. It's a really good starting point. So if you haven't watched anything, all you need to know is I'm trying to prove somebody's innocent, and I did a really bad job last time, so I really don't have any clues. So I'm hoping I can turn my luck around tonight, and let's see if we can. I think I might have this page wrong, or this part wrong. I don't know if I kept track of what part I'm supposed to be on. I think this is it. Yes. I'm gonna start reading, and we're gonna see if this, from the first line, it looks like this is right. So a few minutes pass as your friends eat, and then you feel pockets push past your leg, coming from out from under the table to whine at the front door. Pockets is a dog, by the way. It is not somebody we make eat under the table. A moment later, you hear the creak of stairs as someone comes up to the hideout. Knock sounds against the metal door, and the dishes are left as your friends move hurriedly into the back hall. You suspect they are readying weapons when Rufio lifts a crossbow in one hand and grips Pocket's collar with the other. He nods to you, and you slide back the security bar and open the door a crack. A cloaked figure stands there, shaking water off his limbs. Just arms, not all of his limbs. At the base of the stairs, several armed figures wait, looking miserable in the rain. At first you think the watch has come again, and then you recognize the person in front of you. It's Arnold, or Harold, but I am going to call him Arnold, because I will remember that easier. The half-elf who represents the Seekers, assigning the mysterious scholar scavenger hunts and dispersing their bounties. Instead of sending a messenger to the meeting, Arnold has come to join you in person. You open the door enough for Arnold to enter, and he pushes in and slams the door behind him, leaving his escorts in the rain. I forgot, it's been raining a lot. Like this entire adventure, it's been pouring rain, and I wonder if it's going to... I don't know. Rufio lowers the crossbow, and when he recognizes the half-elf, and he lets go of Pocket's collar, and the dog hurries over to sniff the new arrival, and your curious friends come out from the back hallway. After a round of reintroductions, Too Small takes Arnold's cloak, and you all sit down to the table to listen to the Seeker's message. I apologize for the lateness of the hour. It couldn't be helped. This matter is more urgent than the last. What? New quests to do for the Seekers? Your mission involves the Dawn Saber. It's a famous vessel that carried treasures between Lantan and Am. It was lost just before the fall of Latan, along with its consort Deep Hunter, taken by the infamous pirate Gimlet Waterspecht. A Lantanese vessel called the Red Crest has reportedly sighted the Dawn Saber's consort with the last Tinde. Two Small's eyes go wide at the mention of the Red Crest, the same vessel that you two had tried to investigate hours ago. She sinks a bit lower in her seat as the Seeker agent continues. So, before I continue, A, that's cool that I now know what the Dawn Saber is. Excited about that. B, it sounds cool. Sounds like we're going on a pirate ship, which is going to be very fun. C, when I mentioned that I did really bad at investigating last week or 2 weeks ago, one of the things I did bad at investigating was this ship, the Red Crest. It was like getting repaired in a harbor. The Dawn Saber is a powerful vessel, and her cargo is valuable, perhaps not so valuable to justify the rumors. Sailors like to gossip about treasure ships and pirates and dream wistfully of their secret wealth. The Seekers want the Dawn Saber because she carries documents of great historical value. They had a clue about the vessel's location, but finding it wasn't a priority until now. When the Seekers left Waterdeep to seek safety elsewhere, one of them, Bill Denning, refused to go. And well, somebody killed Denning soon after. The Seekers think his killers tortured that secret out of him because someone has obviously found and deciphered the clues. The Lantanese pirates were seen operating the Dawn Saber's consort just a few days ago between here and Lantan. They attacked a merchant vessel called the Red Crest. Both vessels are unusually shaped, but Deep Hunter is hard to mistake. Its hull has decorative tentacles along it, and its figurehead is a giant squid. Sounds pretty badass. More importantly, both vessels run on complex steamworks. Neither has masts of any kind. If the pirates found the Deep Hunter, they will be looking for the Dawn Saber too. The Seekers' clues say the two ships were hidden near one another on the same island in the Trackless Sea, but we don't know which island. There are over 1,000 possibilities. However, they do know it's the same island that holds another secret, the lost workshop of Tilnanki Lamstrand. Lamstrand was a famous Lantanese portal maker, thought to be the co-creator or creator of the Argent Gate. She was also fast friends with the pirate Gimlet Waterspecht. Thanks to the logbook you found in the Lantanese Embassy, the Seekers discovered the settings to the point the Argent Gate to Lamstrand's workshop. Normally, a portal has but one destination once created, but Lamstrand used something she called Silver Hammer's Difference Engine to link all of her portals to one another. This is the only way to get to the island without knowing the workshop's geographic location. The Seekers want you to break into the embassy again and take the portal to the island. Find the Dawn Saber's hiding place and report back as soon as you can. If the pirates have already found it by then, we'll need to know that too. Okay, so. By the way, I've now had this cough for 3 of these, which means for, I think this week 6 I've had this cough. It's just very annoying, so I apologize. So, need to break into the embassy again, take the portal to the island, find the Dawn Saber's hiding place, and report back. Okay, so the last time I broke into this place, real quick, you know what? I'm gonna see if I can change my camera now that I know it's going to the wrong one. It might just say GoPro, or it might make me invisible. Yeah, thought that might be the case. Boom, back. Okay. Last time I broke in, it was pretty tough, so... Whew, hopefully I cleared everything out. It's probably a simple task. No, Arnold says. The same portal settings will get you back to Waterdeep when your scouting is done. However, there are many unknown factors at this time. The Seekers meant to assign another group for this task, but I've just tonight discovered they're currently unavailable. In light of that, I am authorized to offer an exceptional bounty. Arnold stops to catch his breath. Your friends are looking at one another, trying to decipher if the job that was just proposed. Let me get this straight. You need someone to go into the Lantanese Embassy, use the portal with the settings you provide, find the Dawn Saber on the mysterious island, and then come back through the portal to report its status and location. You got it exactly. And why do we need to do this now at this hour? Well, we need to get into the embassy, and our access is currently limited to a particular time of night, a few minutes when the magical doors will unlock for us. Satisfied that he's answered the important questions, Arnold begins unloading items from his satchel, and he speaks more quickly now. Alright, here's the iron pedal and the notes about the portal settings. These will get you through. I'll be back in an hour to escort you to the embassy. I need to take care of something first, but... the half-elf closes the satchel and looks around the table at you and your friends, and he raises his hood of his cloak and walks out without another word, leaving the front door slightly ajar. Two small hurries over and slides it shut. A long moment of quiet lingers in Arnold's wake. Your friends look at one another in confusion until, eventually, their gazes all settle on you. Clattered breath of silence, and everyone turns his pockets. She's taken advantage of the distraction to pull two small dinner plate onto the floor, and now she's lapping up the mushy onions. Dogs can't have onions, Randall! Is this normal for adventurers? Is this how successful parties get their missions? You're not sure if the question is rhetorical, but you have no answer for it anyway. None of your adventures away from Waterdeep were profitable endeavors. You wouldn't know the successful adventurers things that they do. Alright, well, let's get this out. Some of us already have an adventure planned for tomorrow, so go ahead with that, but make sure you stay safe. Since neither of us have been doing anything strenuous today, I think we're well rested enough to manage this portal work together. Is that me and Rufio we're going to? You're about to protest. You've had a long, strenuous evening, and you're feeling the weight of the night's activities, but you remember you're not supposed to tell the Ashmore about Two Small's problems. Rufio walks over to the armaments chest and pulls it away from the wall. He opens the lid to reveal the gang's collection of antiquated gear. Until recently, that chest only had a couple crossbows, short swords, suits of leather armor. Since you've begun training your friends as adventurers, coils of frayed rope, backpacks, stale rations, and the best cut-rate adventuring gear you could find. Rufio takes a slim short sword, a light crossbow, and a case of bolts from the chest. He also scoops more gear from the bottom to drop into one of the backpacks, which he places beside the door. The rest of the gang lines up, each taking out the extra equipment they will use for these adventures. You can also take some gear. Let me check. I might not need any of this stuff. By the way, chat, are you able to hear the music at all? Light crossbow. Can I use a light crossbow? I think I will take a light crossbow. That could be fun. So, light crossbow. Okay. 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 All classes can use light crossbow. Yes, awesome. Cool. Now I got some ranged. When everyone has their equipment, Rufio suggests you and he rest and meditate on your coming adventure. You'll have an hour before you need to return to the dark, wet night. Oh, however, you think you might need time to decipher the settings the seeker provided for the portal. You open the parchment and find complex arcane diagrams. Having seen the portal in operation, you're not sure you want to risk getting these settings wrong. Oh no! Chat. I have got 7 out of 18 HP right now. Do I rest? Take a short rest, I'm guessing, is all I can do. Or stay and study the diagram, which surely will give me some kind of advantage or something when I have to go and open the portal. Oh, whew. I think I've got some health potions. How many health potions I got? Excuse me. Studying, yeah, I mean, studying definitely is gonna help. I don't want to take the portal and end up in like some random wrong place. Potion. I've got a single potion of minor healing. Oh. Okay, yeah, I don't want to get there and then mess up. And I'm not the smartest, so I'm gonna go study the diagram, do homework. Given how late the evening is, the rest of your friends retire to sleep. Must be nice. You bring the hallway lamp into the planning room to increase the lighting while you study the diagrams that Arnold left. Designs show the Argent Gate, a frame of ironworks shaped as flowering and twining vines. There are 8 locations around the frame to insert petal-shaped pieces. Oh, and there's going to be 8 books in the series. Huh, Randall? Inserting petals shifts the position of the 3 dials at the base of the frame. The dials must then be realigned according to the current position of the planets, the number and position of petals inserted, and in response to the way the dial shifted when the petals were inserted. Oof. The whole thing is needlessly, ludicrously complex. In short, it's exactly the sort of device you expect rock domes to build. If you have the code word No Nap Died, I don't think I do. I do not. If you don't have the code, go to 170. As you study the notes, you hear the chair opposite you pull out. You look up to find No Nap. Of course, you shouldn't be surprised to see your friend there. Elves don't sleep. That is, after all, how your friend got the nickname. Do you mind if I look at that diagram? He slides the parchment away from you and picks it up. It's a practical 3-part cipher disguised as religious observance of the planetary bodies. No Nap slaps the parchment down with the grim faces, though this was the most obvious thing in the world. You look at No Nap, expecting a forthcoming explanation. No, I'm totally joking. No practical cipher has more than 2 parts. You snatch the parchment back and resume your study. No Nap's quiet laughing continues as the elf walks away. A moment later, they return from the back hall with a slim book. These are celestial charts. You can check your planetary calculations with it. The ribbon marks today's date. You flip through the celestial charts. So I've got those. I think that's what that means. With the 0 next to it. Indeed, this might make your task easier. You think No Nap and put in the rest of your supplies. 3-part cipher indeed, No Nap laughs as they walk away again. this time leaving you to silently study the arcane diagram. They got the best jokes. In Waterdeep, temple bells chime once every hour or so, so citizens can track time, whether day or night. The hourly bell of the nearby Zor Star Temple marks the second hour past midnight, just as Too Small creeps into the common room. She holds a patched, oversized blanket around her shoulders. "What are the odds?" she asks in a whispered voice. She climbs into the chair as you unfold a sheet of parchment. You see the words Red Crest written prominently in the center, circled several times with lines away from various notes to the edge of the parchment. "What are the odds? T-Jack's accused of stealing cargo off this ship, and now the Seekers are involved? I can't believe it's a coincidence, but I can't find the connection." She slides the parchment towards you as though you might be able to make sense of the diagram. Arnold mentioning the Red Crest is surprising. Of all the ships in Waterdeep, how likely is it that the Seekers are connected to the same vessel that Too Small's boyfriend was accused of stealing cargo from? "Fine. The agent said you'll be back in a day or two. I'll try to puzzle this out while I wait." Too Small grabs the parchment and hops down from the chair, and she trails the giant patched blanket behind her as she disappears to the back hall. Just after the next hourly chime from the Zor Star's bell, you hear Rufio moving around in the bedroom. You gather and check your gear and meet him by the kitchenette. Rufio is trying to get Pockets to move from where she is sleeping in front of the drawer. This dog's the best. But the dog is too tired from her adventure earlier tonight. Eventually, Rufio just pushes the dog out of the way, sliding her across the tiles. Pockets gives a plaintive whine, but immediately resumes sleeping. "These rations are not tasty," Rufio says, holding up a package that says Adventurer rations. A soft knock on the door, and Rufio turns to Pockets, expecting to have to hold her back from the door, but she simply opens one eye before dozing off again. Best dog. You slide back the bolt and open the door, and Arnold is exactly on time. Seeing who it is, Rufio blows out the candle on the table, and now in darkness, the two of you shoulder your gear and step out onto the landing. As Rufio turns an iron key in the door lock, you envy the rest of your friends warm in their beds right now. Yeah, that'd be pretty nice. Getting above 7 HP would be cool. In the wee hours of the morning, last night's storm finally gives up. A light misting of rain falls intermittently. However, the serious rain is done. The cobblestones glisten in the light of newly lit street lamps. It seems the Lamplighters Guild finally finished their rounds just a few hours late. The three of you walk in single file. When you reach Slipstone Street, Arnold waves to a trio of cloaked figures, the same escort that was with him when he stopped by the hideout just hours ago. They are soldiers or watch members by the look of them. They follow him besides Arnold without a word. Your little group crosses the high road, cutting across Scroll Street to reach the Castle Ward. This district contains Castle Waterdeep, surrounded by various governmental properties and administrative buildings. Among these, along Embassy Road, you will find the old Lantanese Embassy. The Castle Ward is well patrolled at night because few people have legitimate business at this hour. Vigilant watch patrol challenges your group several times, but each time Arnold's escort quietly intervenes, and after a whispered conversation, the patrols allow you to pass. You suspect that Arnold's guard is comprised of off-duty watch members or city guard paid to help your group into the embassy without interference. When you reach the embassy, you find that the building's dark walls and tall windows look much the same as they did the last time you were here. However, Arnold is eager to show you some important changes. We've been here several times since your last adventure. We cleaned up the inside and we got the entry worked out. The magic lock disengages now once per night at a precise time. Suddenly, Arnold leaps up and grabs the side door, which opens as he pulls the handle. The half-elf instructs his guards to wait while he accompanies you and Rufio inside, and the three of you slip into the embassy. Alright, so last time I was here, I got beat up by a bunch of old rusty robots, but I'm hoping they're all dead still. Once you are in the embassy, you follow the same route past the reception area and offices through a lavish banquet hall, with chairs covered with dust tarps, and down a set of stairs to a double door. Beyond, you find no sign of clockwork automaton that attacked you last time during your visit. Arnold leads the way with confidence of somebody who's been here before. He holds up a familiar security token as he leads you through the halls. You head north past the stuttering illusion of a gnome once who greeted visitors, and then past a pair of intimidating statues. It was here, between the statues, that you found 2 burglars' corpses last time. Yeah. The corpses are all the signs of are now gone, and again, Arnold holds up his security token as he proceeds. Fiery-eyed statues are silent. Finally, you reach the portal room. This area is laid out in the pattern of a cross, the northern and eastern end each dominated by a massive portal frame. It's large enough to drive wagons through. One of these portals is the Argent Gate itself. Wasting no time, you insert the iron pedal into one of the slots in the frame and begin working the levers in the pattern you deciphered earlier tonight. Rufio holds the Seeker's notes for you in one hand. In the other, he holds a stone inscrolled to cast golden light, helping you read the references. Finally satisfied that you have set everything according to the Seeker's specifications, you throw the activation lever. A moment later, a pinpoint of light appears in the center of the dark plane that spans the portal flame. It grows and spins, sprouting 8 spokes that fatten into the glittering argent petals of a flower. You look deeply into the portal, hoping to see something of your destination, but the opacity is impenetrable. You wave goodbye to Arnold and claps Rufio's arm, and together the two of you step into the frame. Oh no. Chapter 2, Lonely and Tumbledown. From your first step through the portal, you know something has gone wrong. Oh shit. You feel a numbing power wash over you, and some unforeseen twist of gravity turns you sideways. You are weightless for the briefest moment, and then you fall. Wind rushes past you, it smells like the sea, and you are plummeting, trying to orient yourself, and the pale moon repeatedly tumbles through your vision. Make an Arcana check to determine how accurately you got the controls. Advantage if you got the charts. That's good. I'm gonna need that advantage. Because I got a -1. Wow. Oof, doofa. A 1 and a 2. I should have rested instead of studied that. Let's see here. Oh, I'm real bad at portals. Through the disorientation of your spin, despite the tumbling horizon, you see that you are falling towards the sea, and there is no land in sight. Oh no. That's terrifying. If you have flying speed, wow, wouldn't that be good? At the very last moment before you hit the water, you manage to angle yourself in an awkward dive. Oh no, I'm gonna smell like a wet cow all night. You splash into the sea and your momentum carries you deep into the water. Despite it being evening, you see moonlight above you through the clear water and you swim in that direction. However, it seems more strange. Some strange current is working against you, and alarmed you discover that you are moving downward in the opposite direction that you are swimming. Make an athletics check. This is something that I'm really hoping you come through here, Harry. Yes. Oof. Not the smartest, but I can swim pretty hard. With great effort and persistence, you manage to reach the surface. You tread water while looking for land. You don't find any. However, you catch sight of Rufio's golden light gleaming from among the dark waves. You swim toward your friend. When you reach him, you see he's holding onto Arnold. What the fuck's Arnold doing here? Rufio struggles to keep the half-elf's head above water. You're surprised that the Argent Gate drew Arnold through, too. He wasn't standing close, and he didn't intend to come with you. You suspect that he made an error in the way you set the portal's levers. Then you notice a distortion in the nearby waves. Two parallel lines of foam stand out on the water surface. Those lines are about 10 yards apart. You and Rufio swim toward the distortion with Arnold in tow. Upon reaching it, you discover something marvelous. The waves are flowing past two vertical poles, each along about a yard long. They rise vertically from the water without any kind of support beneath them. We found Spreck's pirate portal, Arnold says. No wonder it hasn't been found in 100 years. You need to be right beside it to see these markers in the water. The seekers would love to know this location. You doubt you'll get the chance to tell them there are just two short poles that seem to hover at sea level. There are no dials, levers attached to the portal, and no way to return to Waterdeep. That part of the plan seems very ill-conceived. I did not come up with that part of the plan, though. The three of you cling to the vertical poles, shivering in the moonlight. Eventually you see the glow of dawn appear in the east. The timing of it portends trouble. Since it's almost dawn, you enter the Lantanese Embassy, and there was still an hour of darkness when you came out of the portal. You deduce that the three of you are now a long way from home, west of the continent. If Arnold is correct, that you are now clinging to the frame of the portal, you are stranded somewhere in the Trackless Sea, at least 1,000 miles from home. You contemplate this while Rufio and Arnold float on their backs. They cling awkwardly to the vertical poles for a while. Eventually, Rufio gets the idea to tie a rope across the gap, giving your little group something easier to hold on to. As the sun rises, Rufio passes the time questioning Arnold, trying to discover if the Seekers will send a rescue party for the three of you, or at least for Arnold. The answer is not a hopeful one. Despite knowing several of their secrets, Arnold does not think himself important enough for the group to warrant sending another group through the portal, through the gate. Maybe a 10-day before the Seekers circle back to this portal again. Your mind goes to the pair of human corpses you encountered when you broke into the embassy 10 days ago. It seems certain they were sent by the Seekers too. When they failed their mission, no one was sent to rescue them. It simply became the same that you three are here. Just as the sun is approaching its zenith, a scattering of bubbles begin breaking on the surface. Oh fuck! It's something down there is expelling a great deal of air. You duck under the water to see what's beneath you. I wouldn't do that. What you find isn't a person. It's a tortoise-like creature larger than a horse, with an unusual number of limbs, 4 flippers, and 2 clawed arms protruding from its shell at unexpected angles. I think any angle on this thing would be unexpected, to be honest. The head regards us curiously. What is that thing, Randall? What is that thing? Through the water, the creature's beady eyes look into your own. Somehow, its alien features don't seem unnerving. The creature hasn't come toward you or made any threatening gestures. Its head tilts quizzically at you, like a dog's head, and you are reminded of Pocket. Then its face splits in half as its vertical mouth opens, pushing the eyes further apart and revealing its pointy teeth. Its voice comes burbling to you through the water, shifting resonance through switching languages. Uncertain what the creature wants, you return to the surface to warn your companions. The creature moves up as well, poking its head above the water. Arnold seems to recognize the words and begins responding in kind. I do not know Primordial or Aquan. So, instead, I will wait for Arnold to explain. Eventually, Arnold stops conversing long enough to relay what he's learned. This, this is an elemental creature of the plane of water. It's not hostile, but it considers this patch of sea to be its territory. It knows of Gimlet Waterspick and agreed to let his allies build this portal here. It happened. It hasn't seen Gimlet or any other humanoids for a century. It's seen ships in the air, but no one's used the portal since the fall of Lantan. Ask it if it can get us to land. Oh, good idea. You can't tell if Arnold is joking or not. Several more minutes and conversations pass. There's a lot of piracy in this part of the sea. The Netherese pirates have begun sailing down to prey on ships between Lantan and Waterdeep just over a century ago. The creature says pirates recently found his friend's island. It seems to be the same island we're looking for. That would explain the recent reports of pirates operating the Deep Hunter. The creature says the pirates used catapults to destroy an important watchtower. They might have thought it was the island's defenses, but that tower wasn't there to protect the island from ships. It was but from a magical curse. The creature says it won't go near the island now that the bad magic was uncaged there, but it's willing to get us within sight of it. Rufio looks relieved. From the moment you realized your predicament, you never doubted you would escape and return home. No. I did not think that. Because I'm worried about this. I'm still worried about this. I might be more worried about this now. You and Rufio help Arnold stay above the surface as the creature swims away. It returns an hour later with part of a ship's hull that, from the look of the barnacles, has recently pried away from the shipwreck. The creature also brought a pair of loose planks, one in each of its two pinched claws. You test out your new raft and makeshift oars. You find them to be passable. The three of you hold on tight as the creature pushes your little craft through the water at an incredible speed. By mid-afternoon, you have come within sight of a large island. Wispy clouds clinging to its mountainous portion, which rises into a hazy zone of vegetation. The island must be several miles long. However, it seems that the creature helping you has come as close as it will. It burbles a farewell and then disappears beneath the waves. Oof. During your... Oh, wait, you know what? I gotta get some, let me get some, sea music on here. I'm using tabletop audio, by the way. A storm at sea, open ocean. Oh, this one might put me to sleep, though. I like it. Okay. During your third hour of rowing, Arnold loses hold of his plank and the rolling waves bear it away. You watch the bit of wood, thinking that you should do something to retrieve it, but it moves further away from you every moment you hesitate. Just then, you hear a splash as Arnold dives into the sea. Oh no. God damn it, Arnold! He's a few yards from the plank when it suddenly disappears, pulled down by something unseen. Fucking Arnold. I don't like Arnold. Don't like Arnold at all. Arnold hesitates just a moment before he turns over and begins swimming back with all of his strength. Then you see a shadow beneath him. Something large in the water is rising toward him. He suddenly screams as a large tentacle reaches out from the sea and wraps around his leg, and you feel a wave of panic and hear the cry of a hawk from somewhere far away. Arnold pops up briefly after being pulled under again, then Rufio fires his crossbow into the sea. A moment later, a dark shape drops from the sky and plunges into the water after Arnold. What is going on? Is this a fucking octopus and a hawk working together? If you have a weapon that you can use at range or damaging spell, good thing I took those crossbows, or a crossbow, you can try to drive off the attacker. It's 55 feet away. Has an armor class of 9. I have 1 turn. Unless you have swimming speed, any attack you make has disadvantage. Roll Rufio's crossbow attack with a bonus of +5, but disadvantage. We have to... Oh shit. Okay. Woo. So I'll do Rufio's +5, but with disadvantage. 16 and 13, cool. So Rufio's gonna hit, and Rufio's damage is a D8 +2. Three. Oh, that means I gotta do at least. I've got to do at least 3 damage myself. I'm not feeling super hopeful. I gotta equip that crossbow. Should have probably thrown a javelin instead. Oh, cool! I hit though. 8 piercing damage. My crossbow bolt is so much better than Rufio's. Alright. So, we did a total of 11 points of damage. Do not record this event code. So we both fire off our crossbows into him. And the giant tentacle drags Arnold under a moment later, pulling him beyond your sight. With all the hasty bravado of an adventurer, Rufio strips off his backpack in one fluid motion, preparing to dive into the sea. Before he can, Arnold surfaces beside the craft, scrambling to get onto the floating platform. His robes are shredded in places, and a long row of circular burn marks wraps around his legs, torso, and neck. A moment later, Asker surfaces. Well, thanks, Joe, for subscribing, and also, yes, solo rolling night, Joe. Favorite night of the week. Asker surfaces, turning in circles on the water and flapping his wings. Rufio leans over to retrieve his celestial familiar. The hawk's feathers instantly dry, and then the bird fades from view. That's the bird. Long minutes pass as you wait for the sea creature to surface again. However, you seem to have driven it off. The 3 of you row toward the big island. Joe, I think everyone in here right now has a sub. You know what? I think before we approach this big island, I think it's been I can chat for a minute. I need to check how many subs we've got, because I know at certain breakpoints, when you get so many subs, you can add more emotes. And I really want to get, there we go. Got a lot of subs now. I really want to get some more emotes unlocked. And I need to check because, I mean, Joe just gifted like 5 subs, which is amazing. Thank you so much, Joe. I know sometime last week on one of the streams, Justin gifted like 5 to 10 subs too. So just with the amount of subs that have been gifted recently, I really feel like we're probably getting pretty close to that. I'm actually going to change where this alert box is too. I'm going to put it above my head. because then it'll look like I got a really cool idea anytime we get an alert. Thank you so much, Joe. You approach the big island during sunset. You can smell the fragrant forest over the water as the evening tide begins to roll you in toward the shore. It is fully dark by the time your little craft rolls through the surf, crunching and scraping as the waves roll it over rocks. Rufio rolls overboard and sinks to his chest before his feet find purchase. He hauls on the rope, leaving in time with the waves to get the craft over the sharpest rocks. Arnold clings to the vessel until he sees that it won't survive these last few yards. I'm telling you, I'm not a big fan of Arnold. You find Rufio, or you help Rufio pull the remnants of your craft on the shore, right up to the tree line. It won't be worth another trip. Not that you have anywhere to go in it, but it might serve as firewood. Despite the warmth of the day, the evening is already cool and turning to cold. The three of you huddle together as Rufio lights the pile of wood with his tinderbox. It's been a long, grueling day. The campfire is a welcome comfort. Asker makes a few appearances too. Rufio's celestial hawk flies circles around the camp to watch for trouble. Asker reports a village a few miles up the shore. We should be going there in the morning. With no other apparent option, you and Arnold agree. Finding a village probably means finding help. When he's warmed himself, Rufio unslings his pack and lays out its contents to dry. He opens his 6 ration packs and inspects their contents, tasting a bit of each. Eventually, he pronounces them edible, and the seawater didn't infiltrate the wrapping to a degree that would spoil the food. Then he checks the seals on the 2 water skins as Arnold watches enviously, licking his parched lips. We might as well eat now, but we'll need to find fresh water soon. Given how we've been sipping from these water skins all day, we're gonna need to start rationing. I've got nothing, Arnold says. I could have puzzled out a few rituals if I'd brought my spell manual, but without it, I've got nothing to contribute. Fucking Arnold. No food or water, not even a bit of string, nor do I have any skills for gathering food. What can you do, Arnold? We'll make do. When the meal is finished, Rufio gathers what's left, proclaiming it sufficient to last one more day. And the fire crackles loudly as you contemplate your combined supplies. Your group can safely go several days without food, and you'll probably have the chance to forage when there's more light. Fortunately, water is a more pressing need. After a single day, Rufio and Arnold are already dehydrated. Finding potable water tomorrow is critical to your survival. Oh, please let me rest. Please let me rest. Look at that. We got Danny and Joan here. That's 50% of the Doom Clock, the Watch crew. As you contemplate supplies, Arnold and Rufio begin talking about the prize, the steam-worked vessel Dawn Saber. In the glow of the campfire, the half-elf's passion for this piece of history comes out in full. Oh, she was a merchant marine, a trader equipped for war. She came out of the yards at Anchorrill in 1381, one of a handful specifically commissioned by Arok. That's the ruling council of Latan. The Dawn Saber served as the flagship in a diplomatic convoy. She carried the Lantar, that's the official envoy of the Lantanese ruling council, and that's how she came to her fame. The Lantar returned to the council after touring the ports of Lantan's allies, and after that, the Dawn Saber was relegated to carrying diplomatic cargo to and from Am. At this point, Rufio leans back and closes his eyes. You're not sure if he stopped listening. The Dawn Saber's consort was Deep Hunter. They were built at the same time, and both vessels had distinctive shapes, but neither used mast or sails. Instead, they navigated by Lantanese steamworks. The Dawn Saber spikes ram is built into a figurehead as horns of a golden unicorn. Her sides are clad in ornamental wings like a hawk's and tucked in for a dive. Deep Hunter has no ramps. Her sides are clad with ornamental tentacles and a figurehead of a giant squid. You're surprised Arnold's impassioned about these two vessels. Still, you feel he's purposely avoiding describing Dawn Saber's value, and why it's so important to the Seekers, and why they care more about it than the Deep Hunter. I never thought of that. Why are they more into this one than the Deep Hunter? When you ask, Arnold reminds you that the Seekers, despite their mysterious ways, are a society of historians. Above all else, they want the historic documents in the ship safe. However, whoever told the pirates about this island probably gave them instructions to retrieve those papers, so it's critical as we get those documents before the pirates do. Let's see if I can persuade him to reveal more. If I have clue 9. Let me see if I got clue 9. I don't think so. I didn't get a lot of clues. Nope, sure didn't get clue 9. So instead I'll try to do a persuasion check to try to convince him to give me a little bit more info. Yeah, I have been, my first natural 20 of the night. Heck yeah. Awesome. I'm very persuasive about this ship. Yeah, I am so ready for Doom Clock. I can't even tell you. Especially even after doing the Diesel one shot with this new system, that even got me even more excited. I really can't wait. We've got a really good group of players. It's gonna be so much fun. The story I've got in my head, I'm really excited about, and I love the system. I can't wait for it. As you contemplate supply, oh wait, no, not all the way up there again. I convinced him to tell me more. Arnold sighs. It seems he had not intended to say more about the ship's value, but I'm very convincing. Rumor says she's a treasure ship, lost with holds full of gold. Historians disagree. The Dawn Saber was a diplomatic vessel. Her real value to the Seekers is the trove of documents. On the ship's last official voyage, she was carried bearers' writs, documents that prove ownership of Amnish properties purchased just before the fall. Whoever holds the writ can claim access to these properties and natural resources. Lantan is particularly hungry for minerals to fuel its massive metalwork, so you can be sure that Lantan wants these documents. However, they will be valuable to rivals as well. As historians, the Seekers want to examine the documents for academic purposes. I know they're eventually intended to give them to the Lantan, who rightfully purchased them from Am. I still don't have event clue 9, so I leave it there. When the conversation dies down, your two companions look to you, hoping you've calculated whatever rationing may be necessary. You spread around the meager supplies and dole out whatever water you think your group can afford to spare tonight. You estimate that your little party will need about 3 gallons of water each day, water you don't currently have access to. With the supplies rationed out the best you can, 3 of you go to bed. Boom! Do I get to rest? I'm guessing that means I get to rest, right? Morning comes early. A red haze rings the sun as it peeks up from behind the sea in the east. Rufio stretches stiffly and walks about, trying to work feeling back into his limbs. After a few circuits of the camp, he sits on a large stone facing the sunrise and begins his morning prayers. Oh, did I miss it? Well, hot diggity dang. I'm gonna go ahead and take my long rest now before I forget, because I desperately need it. Boom. Ah, you gotta love being max HP. Especially as a barbarian. Oh, I didn't get to it yet. Okay, well I jumped the gun a little bit, but I was really excited to rest. Arnold is slowly getting up, moving painfully, and you wonder if he's ever slept on anything less luxurious than a feather stuffing bed. He limps over to you and finds his own rock to sit on. Though he doesn't complain, he rubs at a sore leg with his obvious discomfort. Hopefully this village is close by. If it's too far, I might need someone to carry me. Okay, no one's carrying Arnold. Nobody's carrying Arnold. We'll eat Arnold before we carry him. Sorry. When Rufio joins you, he tells you that he's learned from his familiar. Asker says the village is a few miles away and there's an easy trail leading west along the coastline. No signs of movement there or on the trail, so we might get there before people start waking up. There's something else. There are a dozen or more sailing ships anchored along the ship's west coast. Several are flying the Burning Skull flag. Those ships are from Nilanther, from the Pirate Isles. They've got search crews ashore swarming over the hills and the coast. Ooh. Nilantherese pirates. That's disturbing. No doubt they're searching for the Dawn Saber. I only hope they're looking in the wrong place. We need to find that ship first. How long will it take us to cross the island? You remind your companions, top priority, find water. You can contemplate the pirates and treasure once you've found water and some food. The nearby village is the most likely place to find such supplies. Before the three of you head out, you make inventory, their pockets, and check gear. Arnold has only a pearl-tipped wand. That could be handy. Without his spellbook, he can only cast a few cantrips. Nothing useful in a fight. Fucking Arnold. Doesn't have any armor. Wow. He's got another circular burn on his leg. Rufio inspects every piece of gear, just as you've taught him. He checks the blade of his short sword for nicks, and he makes sure his bolt, case, and crossbow is within easy reach, slung on his back. Vial of holy water, and he can cast Sacred Flame and Thaumaturgy. And cure wounds twice a day. That's good to know. Update his stat block to remove all the rations. Some were eaten last night. We should have a long rest. Okay. So I gotta take a couple notes real quick about some rations. Okay. Yeah, he's a sidekick. Oh, wait a second. I don't think I ever knew that. Yeah, so 207 Rufio. So I've got a second document opened here. Let me see if the searching on here works. I think I might have just put 27s. There we go. I'll click that. Oh, can I not click that? That'd be a Adobe thing. Here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna have this pulled up as a second document. So I didn't know this. They can't assist your rolls for gated options or for checks given in instructive text. And now they can't assist, but they can make rolls in your place. Ooh. What kind of stuff is Rufio good at? He's probably more dexterous than me. He's not very smart, unfortunately. Man, that's gonna be nice having those heals, though. Okay. Okay. Let's head out. Let's go to this village and tear some stuff up. After 5 minutes of walking, wow, that's not a lot of time, the trail enters a clearing overlooking the beach. Let me get some different backing audio real quick. What would this be? And I'm just kind of walking. Here we go. What's this? Oh, there was Lakeside Camp. That would have been really good while we were camping. Should be good. Okay. Small stone foundations form a ring in the center of the clearing. Some of the stone structures are still partly intact, though they lack roofs and plants now grow among the stones. You were looking at the remains of a tiny village. It must have been abandoned at least a century ago. Sharp-eyed Arnold points to a marker stone atop a rocky rise that overlooks the clearing. It has the words carved in it, but I can't read them from here. I'll have to climb the trail. You hadn't noticed the tiny switchback trail that climbs the little cliff until Arnold pointed it out. Eager to read the marker, the half-elf is already making its way up the treacherous, narrow path, moving sideways and leaning as close to the rock as he can. When he reaches the marker stone, Arnold shouts the words down. Why? On this site, in the year of the Red Rain, colonists from the Rothaven landed at this beach and established the colony of Anchor Island. They returned to Nimbrel at the year of 5 jugs, leaving these historic markings and the remnants of their village. Arnold's ringing voice echoes around the clearing. Fucking Arnold! I'm gonna wring Arnold's neck. Something about his volume gives you a bad feeling. Yeah, it does. As soon as he said he was yelling. Your trepidation is soon validated when you see a large, furry creature step out of the trees. It looks like a wolf, but larger. You didn't see it lingering nearby. You notice it come out into the open where it stands boldly in plain view of your party. Fight or sue? I mean, I'm obviously... Chat, I know this is usually when I give you all some options, but I obviously got to try to soothe it, right? I feel like Harry has a couple of times tried to soothe animals, and I think he's kind of a big animal lover. I mean, this is probably gonna go bad, and it's probably gonna make the wolf have a better chomp distance on me, but yeah, I gotta try. Try to keep your postures calm to avoid a fight. Choose one of the following options. If you cast Animal Friendship, I wish I had that. If you rely on your natural talents, make a animal handling roll, DC 12. Oh, oh, I like that Randall, that I can make a get advantage if I use one of the day's rations. Oh, boy. That's a hard choice. So I can use Rufio's. Rufio's would be a +3. So I think I'm just gonna do that. I think I'm gonna have Rufio try to animal handle this thing. Ooh, that was really... Harry Three Fingers would have also just barely hit the check. The wolf's demeanor changes dramatically in response to your efforts. It's really, it's Rufio calming him down. It sits on its haunch legs and guards you calmly, its tongue lolling out over jagged yellow teeth. That worked really well. Using a soft voice suggests that Rufio and Arnold slowly moved to the edge of the clearing. If used to spell... No, I can't do any of that. Otherwise, break from the clearing and go to them. The three of you follow the trail away from the clearing, hurrying over for another 10 minutes before Rufio speaks. I wish that stone marker had told us where we were. Oh, but it did. The year of the Red Rain was 1927, which means the island's position and name will appear in the still existing historical records. This must be the Anchor Island noted in Havstad's Gems of the Sea, a contemporary catalog of the Trackless Seas. The date is the clincher. This must be the same island called Sandal Rock in later cartographical treaties. Part of the chain of islands southwest of the Waterdeep. Unfortunately, there were no villagers there to help us. Not even one venter in that place. That wasn't a village. That was just a tiny ruin. The village Asker saw is still ahead of us. I said it was several miles away, and exactly how long do you think it takes to walk a mile? Well, I don't know if I've ever walked a real one, but I know that they look like on maps, and I know we're about 1,200 of them from home. 1,200 miles is an easy range for a bird of prey. Asker can make that in 3 days if the circumstances are ideal, 5 days at most. We can tie a message to his leg and have him deliver a message home. At least the others will know where we went, and maybe they can convince the Seekers to send out a ship to rescue us. You're less than certain about the plan that Rufio suggested. You were counting on Asker scouting the island for you. However, you concede that you won't get a chance to send the bird if something terrible befalls you and the village ahead. Best to send them now while you're able to. Arnold agrees. If you can't get word to my office in the Sea Ward, my assistant will contact the Seekers and get permission to hire a ship. We can have access to an account where the Seekers left coin to our operational expenses, and I'm sure they'd agree to the cost. But you'll have to get that bird underway before the storm. Seeing your confusion, Arnold explains that he saw gray clouds in the west. You can't see it from here because of the trees. With no time to lose, Rufio summons Asker back to him. The bird alights on a nearby branch, and they stare at one another for a while. Unspoken communication passes between them. Then Rufio ties a little note to the bird's legs and throws him into the sky. Asker's powerful wings carry him upward and away. He is soon beyond your sight. By my calculations, we should see a rescue ship in maybe 15 days? Probably closer to 20, though. I don't know if the Seekers will pay to hire a fast one. 10 to 15 days. You'll need provisions to survive that long. You need fresh water, and you need it soon. The village ahead seems like a logical place to find it. Alright. See ya, Joe. Yeah, thanks for all the subs and everything. Oh, have fun on Barovia backends. If I remember, I'll try to raid you guys if I remember. Speaking of, I am going to. Well, I don't know why it's speaking of, because I'm not speaking of that. I'm gonna take just a really short bio break, get another drink real quick. I'll be back in probably 2 to 3 minutes. And we will see if we're gonna die in this village. We've been having some mixed luck tonight, so I don't know what's gonna happen, everybody. Wish me luck. I'll be right back though.
In a world where adventure awaits and danger lurks around every corner, an unlikely group of friends find themselves on the path to becoming heroes. But school will only get them halfway. Merlin, the human warlock barber guy.
Oh god, no, I gotta buff his butt! No! Can I refuse business?
Ubo, the turtle artificer.
Well, it doesn't work yet, but I'm working on it.
Ultrex, the discarded warforged paladin.
I don't eat or sleep or wear clothes, so I just sit in the corner and wait.
And Clyde, the Goliath barbarian in skinny jeans.
They're called skinny pelts, okay?
Find us on iTunes or wherever you download your podcast by searching for Halfway to Heroes.
Yeehaw! Welcome everybody to Shitty Cowboys. What in tarnation is Shitty Cowboys? We're an actual play Dungeons & Dragons bi-weekly Twitch stream and podcast set in the West Hollow setting. That's right, it's Dungeons and Dragons and Cowboys. What else more could you ask for? Follow Sean Marston and Jambalaya Pendergrass as they travel across West Hollow and get into some cowboy trouble. Find us on Twitch at twitch.tv/OneShotOnslaught every other Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and every other Wednesday wherever you get your podcast. Now go on, get to subscribing.
From the city that brought you Kentucky Fried Chicken comes Roll for Weird, a Monster of the Week actual play podcast. Join Philbert Fogel, Doomsday Prepper, and Expert.
I mean, I'm kind of like the linchpin that's keeping everything together.
Lasath, the Divine.
And I still owe him my life, so...
Alright, just making sure I still had audio. Cool. I feel like I was back super fast right there. Yeah, real quick before we get back in, of course, this is when I like to plug stuff. So, I'm sure as soon as I get into this village, I'm probably going to die, and it's going to be super bad. But that aside, one thing I want to just point out real quick is you're probably going to be hearing about the system coming up on a couple of our shows, like Half-Hearted Heroes, One Shot Onslaught, a couple of mid-rolls, and also on a couple of streams we're about to be doing. Not officially a sponsor of this stream, mostly because I didn't have time to get it set up and everything, but there is a new system. I just posted a link to the website, and this is the first time I've ever tried to say it out loud. So let's see how it goes. And it's Abide Asteria. Abide Asteria, and you can go to abideasteria.com. ABIDEASTERIA for those of you watching this on YouTube and not able to see the chat. It's really cool. It's a sci-fi TTRPG system that is completely free and all web-based. You go to that website and it's got all of the character sheets, all of the rules and everything, all on that one website, completely free. It is a smaller startup, so really appreciate if you all would go and check that out. Again, that's Abide Asteria. Abide Asteria. Excuse me, I will get this by the time I've actually prepped plugs and stuff. But yeah, browsed around on the site some today, and holy cow, it looks really cool, and it's super nice and like quick, like a snappy website, and very intuitive and thorough. So it's very cool. Go check that out. Talked about Doom Clock today. Talked about Extra Life charity event coming up next month, April 9th to the 10th. So sorry that I missed this week's Halfway to Heroes episode drop. I know it's the part 2 to the semi-finale, which is kind of a big deal. Been getting my house ready to sell, so it's been a very, very hectic 2 weeks. We're going to be listing it next week, so I'm hoping we list it and we sell it fast so that it's kind of like a stress lifted and I can really, really dive back into editing and everything. That being said, I am still planning on releasing Half-Hearted Heroes semi-finale part 2. Its next episode drop, which is like 9-10 days from now. Not this coming Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. But I am not planning on dropping One Shot Onslaught Part 1 this coming Tuesday for the Fires of Visk. We're going to push that one back too, just to give me a little bit more breathing room for editing and things like that. But then after that, we should stay back on the schedule at least until we move into the house, the new house, at the end of April. And then I'll probably take another 2 weeks off of shows. But by then, Halfway to Heroes Campaign 1 may be wrapping up anyway. So we may be on our 1 to 2 month hiatus anyway between Campaign 1 and Campaign 2. So we'll see. It might work out timing-wise now. So yeah. Check out all those shows and check out Eclipse and Lorempore, the 2 newer shows on the network. And with all that out of the way, let's get to this village and see what's going to happen. The village comes into view intermittently through the trees as you follow the winding path along the coast. It has at least a dozen permanent structures, some wooden, some made of stone. You still don't see any movement, not so much as a single fisher working on the small docks. When you're almost to the village, still screened by just a thin copse of trees, you spot a familiar-looking marker stone that reads, Village of Bravery. It looks like the sort of historic marker that you saw in the ruins of the old village just a half hour ago. Arnold and Rufio examine the markers as you creep ahead and through the trees. You first peek. Bravery reveals a peaceful coastal village. Fields of grain cover the open land between the village and the densely forested hill south of it. The grain stalks droop under the weight of their heavy seeds. The crop is long past the time it was should have been harvested. From this vantage point, you also get a good look at the darkening western sky. The trees on the far side of the village already sway gently in the rising breeze. You've no doubt that a storm is moving in from the northwest. Looking north onto the water, you find 2 lonely piers that stretch into the gently sheltered bay. Far beyond them, a line of ships in the distance catches your eyes. The vessels carry the red and black sails of Netherese pirates. The sails are full to bulging, with a powerful wind that races ahead of the storm. You can't be sure of their distance, however, you're certain that you're coming directly toward the village. You wonder which will arrive first, the storm or the pirates. It sounds like 2 really shitty options. You gather your friends and return to the path, following it around the trees to where it joins the main road through Bravery. Still, you see no signs of life. The town is eerily quiet, but for the growing wind, growling low as it stalks through the buildings, rattling signs and blowing tufts of thatch off several of the building roofs. You find an open area that is with a covered well at the center of the village. It stands in front of a 2-story public house. Being so close to the shore, the well must lead to a cistern rather than a true well. Oh, I think you worry about the quality of the water, whether it's safe, but Arnold, desperately thirsty, has already begun to draw up a bucket and is drinking it. Fucking Arnold. Arnold. Well, I'm actually gonna. This is. Where is. Sorry. So, I'm about to obviously scold Arnold but first, I'm going to flip myself. Not that way. That's the wrong way. Whoopsie. Oh, I don't even know how to do it now. Nope. That's worse. Oh, this is not it at all. Okay. The button I was looking for is that one. Okay, so I flipped myself because for some reason I just remembered that during the last Lore and Poor episode that released Monday, I was talking about the Gith with Tim Lanning from Geekly Inc. And one part, I don't think it's in the episode. I think it was edited out because it was like in like he went to get a drink when he came back. We chatted for a little bit before we started recording again. He mentioned that on Twitch streams, you're not supposed to be looking off the frame, like away from everything. So I just flipped myself so that I'm not doing that. And now I'm rambling. Sorry. You can drink potable water here as much as you want and fill as many containers as you're able to. If you find more containers in the village, you can carry as much water as they'll hold. Remember, each full gallon of water weighs 8 pounds. A water skin holds half a gallon, but it weighs a pound when empty, so a total of 5 pounds when full. Randall, do I want this dirty water? How many water skins do we got? I mean, I guess myself and Rufio, what you got? I'm sure Rufio's at least got. Oh yeah. Oh dang! Look at that. Look how much you can carry. Another 160 pounds. So Arnold hasn't died from it. Okay, I'm gonna take it as a last case. So Rufio has 2 water skins. So he's gonna carry those. That's gonna be 10 pounds of this 160. So I think we're gonna be good on weight. Let me see how many water skins I've got on my sheet. I have got probably only 1. I got 1. Okay. So we're gonna have 3 full water skins. Okay. The well is across the road from a square of waterfront and market shops, beyond which 2 piers reach into the gently sheltered bay. All 3 of you look out to sea, unable to tear your eyes away from the oncoming pirate ships. They are still on course for the village and have every stitch of canvas unfurled. Which will make it here first? The storm or the pirates? Arnold muses aloud. Oh, what's this? Event. Coming storm. Check off squares each time the text of this chapter instructs you to. Fuck. We're going back to time stuff now, huh, Randall? Huh, Randall? So that's supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Cool. While you are contemplating the coming storm, you see a sudden movement within the square of little market buildings north of you. Just a flash that catches your eye. You're certain a person is lurking there, and Rufio saw it too. It seems the village isn't completely deserted, he says. The 3 of you enter the market area, walking a narrow alley between the 2 buildings that reach a cobbled, open-air interior. Inside the square, you're surrounded by 5 shop fronts with little painted signs advertising wares. A pile of old clothing, curtains, and leaves line the corner of the cobbled space, arranged like a nest for a large animal. A man crouches atop it. He is dressed in sullied rags. Surprised, the man looks at you intently with one eye. while the other, his darker eye, wanders around looking in various directions. You're from outside the village. You drank from the blood of the mountain. Finding himself cornered, the dirty man turns and leaps upward, catching a hold of a horizontal bar atop the shop sign, and he attempts to pull himself up onto the roof and flee. Catch him, call out, let go. This is a chat thing right here. Because I don't know how much this guy's going to give me, so I don't really care if he gets away too much personally. But I think I could probably catch him if needed, or call out to him and be nice. This I'm gonna let chat pick, but catch him, call out, let go. I think if we want to try to catch him would probably be better than call out, because I'm a little bit stronger than I am nice. But we also may want to just let him go. I don't know. If you wish to dive for the fleeing villager, prevent his escape, go to 96. If you want to call out to him, persuade him to talk to you, 123. Let him go. Alright, Danny says catch him. Let's catch him. You hurry forward and jump onto the climbing villager, attempting to drag him off the side of the building. Athletics check? Yep. Then make the villager's contested athletics check. Ooh. That's gonna be interesting. See how good my rolls do. Whoa. That's awesome. So I rolled an 8. 3 plus a 5. He rolled a 5 plus a 2. So 7. So that's close. This guy almost got away from me. So I'm struggling. Where was I? Right here. Yep. I got him. You pull the villager down from the sign he's trying to climb, and the two of you land heavily in a smelly pile of leaves, cool, in old garments. Rufio hurries to help you wrestle the man into submission while Arnold shouts encouragement. Fucking Arnold, I swear. Goddamn Arnold. The wild-eyed man wears a fisherman's apron. His wispy white hair is tangled and dirty, and he smells of filth and decay. When some time passes without you killing him, the man seems to get an idea that you pose no danger, and he calms down. Giving the nervous man some space, you ask him where all the other people are. The man repeatedly attempts to answer your question, and unfortunately he seems confused. The villager's most lucid pronouncements describe a curse on the island. Yeah, fuck. At one point he laments that pirates destroyed a watchtower, the magic watchtower that was watching against the curse. And he warns against drinking the blood of the mountain. I hope that's not the potable water we just fucking chugged. Gotta hide from the blood. Gotta hide from the blood. It's out. We gotta run out. It's getting out. Ooh, the tower broke. It's getting out. The blood of the mountain's getting out. After his final insistent pronouncement, the old man's eyes roll up in his head. He lunges past you and runs off to the market square. You just let him go. Don't know what that means. If I see any blood and or mountain juices, I will not drink them. But I'm not sure exactly what that means. When it's just the three of you left in the market, Rufio asks you what you made of the old man's pronouncements. First, he accused us of coming from outside the village. Why would that make us dangerous to him? And then he said we drank the blood of the mountain, whatever that means. Perhaps the streams coming off the mountain carry disease, or the water's sacred and drinking it invites a god's reprisal. Three of you puzzle it out for a bit. The old man had obviously lost some lucidity. What's that? Rufio searches among the old man's pile of rags, lifts a small metal object for you and Arnold to see, and to you it looks like a colorful metal toy. The hideout back in Waterdeep is littered with wind-up simulacras like this one. Lacrums. Items Bell created from cheap metal parts. Let me hold it. Arnold turns the thing over in his hands. He bends over the limbs and gently moves the head back and forward, looking position. Now you can see the toy's true shape. It's a tiny metal dragon. The creature's jointed wings hang limp and its head, still not attached correctly, lolls to one side. Its scales are painted in bright, colorful, resembling a parrot's plumage. This belonged to Gimlet Waterspect. It's his famous companion parrot. When Arnold says this, you can see how the dragon resembles a parrot. With one finger, Arnold tries to raise the metal frills on the back of the dragon's neck. How do you wind it? What? No! Arnold turns away from Rufio, clutching the little dragon to his chest. This isn't some child's toy. This is the pirate's clockwork familiar. This was famously crafted by Gimlet, for Gimlet by Nancy Lampstrad himself. You're looking at a master artificer's craft. It's a living automatron. To emphasize the last pronouncement, he holds up the dragon, cradling it gently in his hands. The head now flops in the direction, and the wings remain limp. Well, it needs something. Let me examine it. Maybe I can get it working. After a minute of watching Arnold examine the clockwork dragon, you decide your time is better spent contemplating matters that are more pressing. You need to find supplies in the abandoned village and escape into those hills before the pirates arrive. If you can, it would be nice to find information about where the other villagers went, or maybe even a clue about the Dawn Saber. Rufio has a plan. From the Nethelzim ships around the island and the old man's rantling, I assume the pirates attacked the village. It's likely the villagers have a place they can retreat somewhere in the interior of the island. I don't think they left because the pirates... This village looks like it's been abandoned for a 10-day at least. Well, whatever the case, they're not here, so we need to find food for ourselves, and we need sacks and water skins or whatever else we can carry for hauling provisions. We need to gather whatever we can and move up those hills before the pirates arrive. We can't take it slow. I suggest we split up to cover more ground. Splitting up would make your search of the village quicker, but it might be dangerous. I should wait here. I wouldn't know a useful piece of bric-a-brac if I saw it. If we want to find the Dawn Saber, I'll bet you anything this creature can lead us there. Its master is one that stole the ship from the Lantan to begin with. Arnold stands up from the pile of rags to show you and Rufio a glass cylinder. The object is smaller than the half-elf's little finger. It's green and wrapped with a wire. This is a motive cell. Lampstrand used these to power her devices. This one's broken. Or maybe it needs recharging. If you can find more of their inventions around the village, perhaps the cell can... we can pull out the motive cells and bring it back to life. I'm more interested in finding food and water first, says Rufio. We can leave Arnold for now. The shots will block the wind and provide concealment where he's working. The two of us can search the village and bring back any supplies between our forays into the various structures. Then we'll head into the hills. Oh, okay. I like this. I like what I'm seeing. I like when I get to make a bunch of choices. The village contains food, water, and clues. However, we have a limited amount of time to search. Chat, this can be on you. The 2-page village map, after this text part, shows areas you can explore. The map is easiest to study in your PDF reader's 2-page view. Choose an unexplored area and list it in your notes. Then decide if you will go with Rufio or split up. Click on the link below to correspond to the area you wish to search. Okay. Okay. Okay, I see. Alright. So, Rufio's on page 504. However, we want to go to page 223. Because I'm going to make this 2-page. I'm not sure how it's going to look right now. Let's see. Whoops. How do I make this 2-page mode? Come on, Adobe, where you at? We might have to just kind of piece it together because Adobe's not. Here we go. Boom. There it is. Okay. So, how's that looking? It's not working on the overlay. I might have to go back because there's a lot of stuff cut off on the left and the right from the Twitch overlay. Darn it. It looks good to me. So, we'll just kind of, we'll look like this. So our choices are Fishery, Homestead 1, 2, 3, Lookout Point, Market Square, Militia House, Piers, Public House, Smithy and Bakery, Stables. Wait, Smithy and Bakery? That's a weird ass building right there. I definitely want to check that one out. Stables, Temple Granary, Warehouse 1 and 2. Okay. Oh, the smithy and the bakery are like two separate areas. On page 135? There's an easier map on page 135. Oh, here we go. This is a good one. Yeah. Chat, if you want to throw out some places you definitely want to check. I don't know how many we can check. I know I want to check I want to check Smithy and Bakery at least, but then whatever you all want to check, we can check those out too. Smithy and Bakery. I mean, that's definitely. We gotta go there. So time's of the essence. So I kind of want to split up from Rufio. Danny, where should I send Rufio at? Because I want to go to the Smithy and Bakery. So should we send Rufio to the Lookout Point? Yeah, Lookout Point sounds cool. Yeah, to me, the ones that are really standing out are Smithy and Bakery, Lookout Point, a warehouse, maybe, because there's probably like a lot of stuff. Send him to the warehouse. Should I send him to 1 or 2? I bet one's got nothing in it. I bet one, and then I bet the other one has stuff in it, but I don't know which is better, 1 or 2. Two? Alright. I think that too. Because I think Randy's oh man, I just called you Randy. That's so weird. I think Randall's tricky. And I think Randall's thinking that you would go to the first warehouse. So I'm gonna send Rufio to warehouse 2. I'm gonna go to the smithy and bakery. Oh, is it really? You go by Randy. I felt so weird just saying like an abbreviation or like a variation of your name without ever calling you that. That would be like if, well, now that I say that, I'm realizing that Danny's Twitch name and Twitter name is Danielle Lanois. I've never once in my life called Danny Danielle. It's always been Danny. So it's like the reverse for you, Randall. Alright, I'm gonna go to the smithy. Decide if you will go or split up. Note that decision. Yeah, it's always Danny. I can't imagine calling you Danielle. Why are your Twitch and Twitter name Danielle? I'm just typing my notes. I went smithy. Rufio went warehouse 2. The cluster of 5 buildings includes... Oh, that makes more sense. It's a cluster of buildings that include a smithy, bakery, and other related structures. I thought it was one building where you could go and get your fucking hammer or your sword repaired and forged while enjoying a cronut. This kind of makes more sense. A sign on the large structure says bakery. Looks like the sign included 2 words at a time, but the first word is now covered up. Maybe it said like shitty bakery or shit bakery. Perhaps a new owner took over. Yeah, I know. I'm disappointed too. Also, I gotta block this bot or kick. I don't know what to do with. There we go. Haha. Gotcha. I think. Oh no. Yeah. A bot sneaked in here. Behind the bakery is a smaller stone building. Through the door you can see parts of a milling operation. The forge is a narrow building with only 2 walls, those that run the length of its longer sides. The 2 open ends probably facilitate ventilation. A large bellows hangs from the ceiling. The building next to the open forge is just as large, but the exterior gives no clue as to its function. A third smaller structure stands south of the forge with a sturdy-looking metal door. Bakery. Bakery is going to be my #1 go-to. You open the flimsy door, revealing a mixed-used interior. The front of the building is a shop. It has rows for tables and breads. The shop is devoid of food. That sucks. In the kitchen, rows of ovens line the eastern wall, each with a metal chimney pipe. You search the cupboards and find some loaves of old bread. Fortunately, it's got mold. That sucks. There's enough bread for 6 moldy rations. Oh, it can be fixed with a purity food and drink spell. Or consumed as is. Oh, I'm gonna have to copy all this right here. If Ian make a con save. Okay. Okay. That's not too bad. I'm pretty constitute. I like it, Randall. I'm going to the forge. I'm just gonna I think I'm just gonna like knock these out. Like bam, 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 real quick. Completely cold. Hasn't been used in at least a day. Oh, somebody cut the bladder of the forge open, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna collect some smith's tools. I don't know why. I don't think I can use them, but... yeah, I'm just gonna go down the line. I mean, if I'm searching this section, I'm gonna search this section. Into the a squat building, white dust coats everything. Stuff that's too heavy. Cotton woven sacks. Rats have been eating through these though. 4 bags of flour. Oh, somebody can use cooking. Oh, Randall, I'm liking this stuff. Really like when you get to play around with different skills that aren't usually used, like cooking and stuff. Angled building. The door of this building has been battered down. Metal products within. Somebody hauled away everything valuable here. Okay. And then the secure looking building. Metal door is dented and jammed. There's a portable ramp. I'm gonna take that. I'm strong enough to carry that. I'm noting the weight too, though. 35 pounds is nothing to sneeze at. I'm gonna... Oh, no. You know what? I've got thieves' tools. First things first, I'm gonna try to roll up my thieves' tools. I need a 23. That sucks. Let me see if I'm even able to, like... I'll be gauging this lock. I'm gonna see if I think I'm gonna be able to do this or not. I am proficient in thieves' tools, so I will get to add my proficiency. Which right now I believe my proficiency bonus is like +2. Yes, +2. So I believe I would just make a dex check for that, right? And add my proficiency modifier to it. I'll do that. So I will literally need a natural 20 to get this. No. I can't figure out this lock, so you know what I'm going to do. I'm really curious what's inside of this lock, inside of this door. Oh, read the text there. Did I miss something? Read the text here. Okay. If you're capable of it, you can finish the job breaking the door down by going to 155. Remember, if you pick up the ram, it gives a +4 to your passive score. If Rufio's with you, it's not. If you choose this battering option, you must add the following event code. Oh, read the lockpick option. Oh. Oh! If you have enough time to test this lock repeatedly, and if you have thieves' tools, if you can eventually roll a 20... Wow. Oh, thank you, Randall. Good catch. Good call. Now, I would literally need to roll a natural 20 to pick this lock, but it means that I can just take a couple minutes and really work on this. Inside the tiny structure, you find a collection of tools, ingots, and other materials for smithing, molds. These items are probably pretty expensive. 6 copper bars, worth 5 copper each. Not really what of particular interest, you also find a set of diagrams and notes that describe various mining techniques. So take the miner's maps. Oh, well, that's probably going to be what I actually need. Oh no. Finally, in a box on one of the shelves, you find a motive cell. Oh, fuck yeah! Yeah, Randall! I get so excited when I find stuff in these adventures. I still think about that, what I call the Resident Evil 1 cave. in the first adventure, where like you would find something and you'd unlock a door on the other side of the thing, and you could go and open up the door, and then you find something and unlock somebody else. That's cool that I found that motive cell, so I'll be able to get that Clockwork Dragon back up and live. Oh wait, do I need something though? Proficiency in Smith's tools or Tinker's tools? I don't think so. I've got proficiency in dice set and thieves tools, unfortunately. So I don't have that. To search elsewhere. I'm gonna go back. Yeah, 197. You decided to head back to where Arnold was hiding. Mark off one square. So that's only one square I've done. I think what I'm gonna do is because Rufio went to the other section during the same time, I think I'll go ahead and do his section too. I think that's how I'm supposed to be doing it, Randall. So I'm gonna have him searching the warehouse too, as if it was simultaneous and only using one checkbox on that coming storm. Here it is. As you go, gusts of winds, ever increasing in ferocity, remind you of the approaching storm. If Rufio searched elsewhere, yeah, gotcha. Yeah, he went to warehouse too. I always get ahead of myself and start thinking, yeah. Oh, this is cool. This is cool. So I don't actually do the searching of this. Rufio just comes back and reports to me. Rufio tells you that the second warehouse outbuilding had no external door. He had to find a secret sliding panel. He found a topographical carving that depicts the island. Didn't have many details. Showed what looked to be a temple. So I get an event, Stone Temple. Cool. Maybe cool. I don't know. It might be bad. We'll see. The whole thing moved in pieces. I think I broke the gears though. I got stuck and started smoking. After that, I didn't know what else to do, but I found that thingy Arnold wanted. Maybe I can get that toy working again. Oh, we got 2 motive cells. I'm gonna make sure I put that down though. We got 2 of them. The main warehouse was empty. Well, but for a platform suspended about 20 feet off the ground. Maybe the person using it was afraid of wild animals getting to it. If Rufio still has a rope in his possession, go to 214. He does. I wouldn't have made it to the platform if I didn't have rope. Even then, it was a tricky one. I only fell once. The second try, I got to the platform and found this lantern. Rufio places a bullseye lantern. And a table with a creature's cut up body on it. It was half human, half reptile. It looked like a surgical dissection, and there was a journal with notes on it, but I couldn't unravel the medical jargon. All I got was the cut up creature was used by one of the villagers somewhat known to the writer. Rufio hands the journal to you. I need proficiency in medicine. I don't think I've got that. I do not have that. If they just notes mean nothing to you, leave the journal here. Go to 219. With the 3 of you united and your adventures and findings quickly summarized, you contemplate your next task. Do we need to search anything else? I don't think we do. I think the section I searched, I am very happy with that. I'm very happy with what I found there. I can't think of like another section I'd want to search. I think I'm good if we want to just go to the island's interior before the pirates get to us. Yeah, let's do that. I don't think there's any other really spots that were really standing out to myself or chat about searching. You pick up your various supplies, helping Arnold shoulder a satchel, and Arnold hands Rufio 2 water skins. I filled your empties from the well. If you brought back any others, it may be worth a minute or so to fill them. When you cross the road south of the market square, you pass the covered well. Arnold was probably right about filling up water. You can take as much as you can carry. We didn't find any new ones. 3 of you hurry through the bravery, and when you reach the southern edge of the village, you get down on hands and knees to sneak through the grain fields. Taking care to stay out of sight, you wait several times for Arnold to catch up. In the village below, you see rows. You see the row of pirate ships gliding into the bay. Long lines of froth behind the vessels indicate where anchor chains are dragging the vessels to a halt. Canvas from falling from the mast as sailors swarm the rigging, rushing to cut down the sails from the wind, pushing the ships over to snap their straining anchors. Already, more pirates are in bravery. Others that haven't come from the ships in the bay, they appear to have approached the village over land in the way that cuts off any retreat from the village. Fuck. Whoa, Rufio could have died? That would have sucked. Oh, chapter 3. Well, shoot. It's 9:41. I think that's going to be a really good stopping spot. Stopping right at chapter 3. Oh, man. Rough sailors stalk the streets of bravery like silent ghosts. The sound of their movements are boisterous, talk completely swallowed by the wind. They are swarming through and among the various buildings. Shouldering open the doors and even climbing the roofs, you don't know what or who they're searching for. They're going about it with gusto. If you have the taken away, I don't think I have that. Alright. Well, I think that's a really good spot to stop. Chapter 3. Page 250. Cool. Wow. How many chapters are there, Randall? Yeah, this is a really good stopping spot. So, I avoided the insidious trap by leaving the village early. Yeah, I mean, whenever I've got a time limit, I get really, really nervous about that time limit, and maybe a little bit too. There's 2 things about me that you can learn from how I play video games or how I play tabletop RPGs that have certain mechanics in them. One, if it's got something that you need to save, that's like a precious material, like ammo, like the Resident Evil games with ammo, I will hoard the ammo, and then at the end, always thinking like, I might need this ammo, and at the very end, I'll have thousands of bullets because I never used them, always thinking I needed them, and then I'll beat the game. My wife hated that when playing Resident Evil 5 or 6 with me. And 2, if I've got a time limit, I get really nervous about that time limit. I don't want to press up against the back of it. So yeah, that's why I was heading out so early. But cool. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Let's see. Today's Thursday. We don't have a stream tomorrow. Saturday, we're going to be doing a stream with a couple of our patrons. I haven't picked exactly which adventure we're going to be streaming yet, but it's going to be a one-shot from DM's Guild. It's going to be just a D&D one-shot. I've been really wanting to play some more D&D, and with the house and the move and everything, I've been very busy and haven't gotten a chance to. So we're going to be playing something tomorrow or Saturday night. So follow us on Twitch and tune in then. It's going to be a lot of fun as always. Yeah, again, go to bit.ly/goose2021 and donate $1. I challenge whoever's watching right now, I challenge you to go donate $1 to Extra Life charity event for Cincinnati Children's Hospital, and you will have a very, very good chance of winning a prize in the giveaway event next month. And when I say very good event, I mean we made like $3,200 last year, but there was maybe like 100 donors, I want to say, maybe around there. I don't really know the number off the top of my head, but say we had 100 donors, we probably had 30 prizes we gave away. So it's like almost a 1 in 3 chance of getting a prize worth way more than $1 to donate. So I would donate now so you don't forget, and also to help our goal just look a little bit better when we start it. And other than that, yeah, follow us on Twitch if you're not, like if you're watching this on YouTube, and if you're watching this on Twitch, go and subscribe to our YouTube page, please. YouTube.com/Majestic Goose or Majestic Goose Network, one of the two. If you want to support us, and if you really like what the network's doing and you want to somehow support us one way or another, you can go to patreon.com/Majestic Goose. I know the link over there says patreon.com/OneShotOnslaught. That has been revamped. It is no longer just for One Shot Onslaught. Now it's a Patreon for the entire Majestic Goose Network, which is, we're up to 12 shows now. We're going to try to cool it on 12 shows because it's a lot. But you can go there and you can sign up for $1. And you get, I'm not kidding, you get so much cool bonus content for that $1. And if you don't think $1 a month would make a difference for us, I can tell you right now, for a multitude of reasons, it does. One, that $1 will go right back into our shows one way or another. Costs a lot of money for our Twitch streams, like even little things that we don't really think about kind of pile up, like NBA or Modris Bloodsport Association Twitch stream every other Monday. That one, I have to buy a lot of like Roll20 packs and asset packs for monsters and things. So like that Patreon covers that. It covers things like website hosting, storefront hosting, podcast hosting for 6+ podcasts, music software, music creation software, music licensing software, Zoom. And there's literally just untold amounts of little weird tiny expenses that come along with having 12+ shows on a network, and $1 will go a long way to help us with those costs. Not only that, even more so than the monetary value, we read your names at the end of a couple of our shows, like Halfway to Heroes and One Shot Onslaught. We read the name of all of our patrons. Seeing that list grow, and also whenever, because I look at that list weekly, right? I have to for reading the list of the names at the end of the shows. Seeing that list grows, I keep saying gross. Seeing that list grow makes me feel like immensely great about the network. It makes me think that this person, even if it's a dollar is huge. It makes me think this person believes in our shows and the network enough to spend $1 a month to help us out, and that means that we're doing something right. And I genuinely get so happy whenever I see a new $1 patron. I really do. Same with 5-star ratings and reviews for all of our shows. I know all the shows that I am the host of and read like the outros for, like One Shot Onslaught and Half Fight Heroes. Whenever I get a 5-star rating review, I read them at the end of the show, and I get so excited to see those. So please, 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 if you have not yet rated and reviewed all the shows on the network, just go across the board and give us all 5 stars. I promise. Even if you haven't listened to them, if you're not caught up on the backlog, they're worth 5 stars. They're all really good. I've been talking a whole lot. I'm going to go ahead and raid our... I don't know what to call it. It's the Nerd Asylum. They're kind of... I don't know. We work with them a lot. Joe is the head of the Nerd Asylum, and he's going to be on Doom Clock, and Dragon Bait from Roll for Weird is also on a lot of the Nerd Asylum shows, and I don't know. We do a lot of cross network stuff, so I guess they're like our brother/sister network. So I'd like to raid them whenever I remember, and I'm remembering this time. So thank you all so much for watching, and when you get into the Nerd Asylum, they're currently doing their Barovia Beckons, which is a Curse of Strahd campaign. The nerd. Just give them a big honk. Just type in all caps honk so that they know that the Majestic Goose sent you. And thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in 2 weeks. Or Saturday. Bye, everybody. Channel is intended for mature audiences. Oh, we're still rating. Here we go.